What's up? Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Thank you. So here we go, guys. A clown world commentary comes to comedy. We live in a world that finds comedy a place where people tell jokes to be offensive. It's unbelievable. And it's always the same people, by the way. Here I have an article from irishmirror.ie that says Tommy Tiernan in controversial zoo joke storm. It's good man, Tom. As fellow RTE presenter, you must be using that term very loosely, walks out of his gig. Emer O'Neill, proud supporter of By Large Mansions, identity politics, critical race theory, unconscious bias, and black and Irish, was left so upset she ended up walking out of the gig with her friends. Such mentally fragile and soft individuals. Who was this written by? Sandra Mallon. Well, you know yourself, guys, you know the story there. RTE star Emer O'Neill has heard out a comedian, a fella who tells jokes for a living. How about that? After he told a controversial joke about taxi drivers. You see, the problem with people like Emer is that they find certain things funny and they don't find other things funny because there's an element of truth to them. And that's the issue. It's an issue that has been highlighted by Dave Chappelle regularly. He has talked about it. And yet you're seeing these wokies. In my opinion, what I think this article and what she is talking about is we've seen in the Whisper Network, which was a group of women and some fellas cosplaying as women, like Mrs. Doubtfire, that wanted to assume the positions of men that had worked their asses off to get where they got, that had charm, that had intelligence, and had creativity, and also happened to be funny. And you had these people on the outside that were none of the above and unattractive women to boot and wanted to assume the positions of those guys. And that's what they did. They got these guys cancelled. So you're seeing this individual make her way into RTE, and it's no surprise that you're seeing this sort of stuff. Emer attended the Navinator's comedy gig in Vicar Street in Dublin on Friday night with her friends who bought her a ticket for her birthday. What a prank. They stitched her up something lovely. I have to say, this is absolutely hilarious. When we move on into the article, then they say, a lot of people have said to me, you should have known before you went that this is his thing. Like, what do you mean this is his thing? Who in this day and age is still writing comedy where ism is supposed to be funny? Have you heard about a fella called Fabu D by any chance? I'm sure you're probably a supporter of his, are you? So, yikes on that one if if you are, because then that's hypocritical. Emer detailed her experience when she first sat down at Vicar Street, saying, I took a video at the beginning. They were playing Irish traditional music and I was really vibing. Oh my god. I was thinking, this is going to be epic, and I was feeling patriotic. Now here's the thing, right? This is where you have to have a very serious conversation about integration. Because if you are not able to have a laugh, which is something that Tiernan says regularly, you shouldn't attend the shows. And he's like, question marks need to be asked about people coming into the place. If you're able for a laugh, come on in. If you're not able for a laugh, go on back. And here's a very good reason for it. He comes out on stage and you can hear me cheering him. His first joke out of the gate, the first joke of the night, he started with, my daughter told me that I shouldn't say this joke, so that was the first thing he said. As soon as he said that, I kind of thought to myself, I wonder what this is about. My radar wasn't going off at all. I'm at a professional gig in Vicar Street. I'm not thinking I'm potentially in a place that is going to be harmful for me. Harmful. Maybe we've answered the age-old question of, are women funny there, guys? Because I tell you what, that's the funniest thing I've heard a woman say. It really is. That's absolutely unbelievable stuff. And again, I thought that was Trevor Noah there for a second. Anyway, moving on. Emer recalled how she wasn't thinking anything negatively when Tiernan told the audience about his daughter's advice. Now, what I would suggest, again, I'm not saying that this is what this person did. What I'm doing is speculating is, it seems like a lot of people go to these places with the intention of being offended and the intention of making a name for themselves, waiting to be offended. Again, soft and fragile is the world that we live in. He starts the joke and he starts talking about penguins looking like nuns with their rosary beads, and I thought, nice one, and I'm laughing. So there you go. Happy to cherry pick and happy to laugh at the Catholic faith. Didn't work out well for her though, did it? And this is what I'm talking to you about. These wokies, and as she says herself, nice one. So you think it's funny to denigrate a religion, do you? Well, how about you tell a joke about one there, like for example, the religion of peace. What about that? Would you tell a joke about them? Would you find that funny? I bet you wouldn't. What about another religion that everybody seems to be talking about at the moment, like Kanye, for example? What about when jokes are made about them? Would you find that funny? You see what I'm saying? And here's the thing, in my opinion, if comedy is what it is, it's supposed to make light of situations and have a laugh. That's what it's supposed to do. But the hypocrisy that you're seeing from this person quite clearly on show tells you everything you need to know about this individual. Then he talks about the wolves and their fierceness or their strength, reminding him of the Irish. This is all paraphrasing because this just happened. And then he goes, then I went to the African savannah and my heart sank a little bit as soon as I heard the word Africa. Thought you were telling people you're Irish. What's the story with that? It's weird, isn't it, how all these people that are coming out and telling you that they're Irish seem to just look back and say, well, the homeland kind of fits in what an awful lot of people have been saying, which is, look at America, for example. Are you American? Yeah, no, I'm Irish American, I'm Polish American, Italian American, African American. So you still refer back to the motherland. Oh, yeah. Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? Because, in my opinion, the Native Americans are the true Americans. So that's where I stand on that one. I just thought, please don't do this to me. Oh yeah, he was really singling you out. He saw you in the crowd and said, I'm gonna do one for her. I'm literally one of the only people of colour sitting here full of a room of white people. And again, she has a big problem with white people, it seems, you know. And then came the savannah and taxi drivers. He acknowledged that the room was full of white people and said that everyone is laughing, so it mustn't be a ist joke. The Bray native, this is another thing, by the way, the media love to do, is they like to say the Waterford man, the Dublin man, the Tipperary woman, and then you see the names and the images and you're like, She ended up walking out of the gig with her friends a few minutes later, admitting she felt too scared to get up straight away in case she was heckled. Oh, stop. I was like a statue. And see, this is the thing with these lefties, by the way. They're tough behind the keyboard. And this is exactly a perfect, I think, explanation into these individuals. I was like a statue. I was processing what was said. When he said, I'm here in a room full of white people, I wanted to say, well, hey, I'm not white. But nothing came out. Of course. Because yous are Billy Big Balls on the likes of the internet. But in reality, when people see us and they talk to you, you don't want to know. You know what I mean? I wanted to stand up because what he said was not right. Not everybody who is African is a taxi driver. Seems to be a lot of them, though. I mean, that's where the element of truth is. I have a degree in education. So you're referring to yourself then as African. Is that right? Is that what we're saying here? Of course, now the next thing will be like, I'm actually Afro-Irish. I'm African-Irish. I wanted to live, but I was scared because I felt that if I stand up now after him saying, oh, you're very brave, aren't you? You know what I mean? Some Rosa Parks you are, huh? See, you are all laughing, it's not this. And I stand up, I already could hear two women beside me saying, oh, look at her, she does not seem happy with that. Two based women that were looking and laughing at you. Absolutely brilliant. It was probably 4 minutes after he said it. That's a considerable amount of time, isn't it? 4 minutes is a long, long time. By the time I stood up, people probably would have forgotten about it. But for me, I was not able to stand up in that moment because I was afraid that he would say something or that someone in the crowd might shout something. I've been in situations over the course of 37 years. Oh my God, this person is 37 years of age. She's nearly 40 and she's carrying on like this. Oh my God. Listen, if I went to a place in America or Africa and they were slagging paddies, I'd be like, yeah, go on you go. Absolutely hilarious because you're probably going to hit the nail on the head multiple times here. Unreal stuff. I did not feel safe to stand up and walk out at that moment. You see, this is all a thing, by the way. I did not feel safe. Why? Oh, because someone might have said something. Okay, so what? It's not like anybody's getting up and is doing anything. No, but I didn't feel safe. Of what? Of words. Well, you know, this is what these people want to do. They want to tell you that words are so negative that you can make them akin to boomsticks and knives and the likes. Absolutely unreal. I was also embarrassed because I felt so bad for my friends that their night was ruined over the potential that we were going to have to live. Listen, if you're a mate of hers, you might need to cast her adrift, because this person is no laugh at all, lads. It's absolutely unreal. She later told her Instagram of the incident. A night that was to be fun and full of laughter turned sour, way too close to the bone joke by official Tom Median at his Vicar Street gig tonight. So she's tagged Tommy Tiernan and the venue. Now this is how you know, in my opinion, that this is a concerted effort. Because if you felt bad about it, that's on you. But now what you've decided to do is you've decided to tag him to tell him that I don't feel comfortable with what you've said, and the venue. This person, in my opinion, knows full well. It's unbelievable stuff. It really, really is, to see that this is going on in 2023. Now, the thing is, it's going to be mocked and ridiculed, and rightfully so. Emer then says she told us what was important to her is that the joke is acknowledged and removed by Tiernan, adding that we've done enough of sweeping things under the rug. For me, this is the perfect example of there is no ism here in Ireland. Okay, hang on here for a second, right? And then this is Exhibit A. Just going to stop you there. So, you're telling me that there's ism in Ireland. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that narrative. So, you're telling me that the people that are now coming in from Africa, you're telling me that those people are stupid then, are you? Is that what you're saying? Because either racism doesn't exist in this country, and that's why these people keep coming to this country, or it does, and those people are stupid. So, which is it? I'm curious which one it is. Because I sat in a room full of my fellow Irishmen. Hang on, did she not just identify as an African up above? No? So you know what I'm saying? This person using what she wants when she wants it. And then they allowed for the joke to happen and be laughed at. Emer added her disappointment. Tommy, she said, I've never met the man. I don't have a personal vendetta against him. I'm going to press X doubt on that one there, guys. I'm not calling him ist. What was said was ist and stereotypical. That is a completely different thing. For me, what my concerns are is that Vicar Street be held accountable, that it is an act of theirs that they have on stage. They're giving him a platform. So there you go. That's what you need to know there. That's exactly what you need to remember from this here, is that she's all about a concerted effort when she's telling you about, no, and this is what these people do all the time. I've seen it before in the comic book world, and telling you, all of them the same. They all go, oh, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to have any sort of negative impact upon this person. And then they go, yeah, no, I'm trying to have a negative impact upon this person because I'm going to tag the place that they work at. I'm going to make sure I make a big fuss about it, have an article written about it now. And the circus continues on. What I would say is this: I hope that Tommy Tiernan continues to tell the joke. I hope that he continues to tell even more ostentatious jokes in the future. And now you will know not to go to a gig of his again. I'm sure in the same token, you will keep your mouth very firmly closed about the actions and behaviour of a certain comedian called Fabu D, who's a Nigerian who likes to pretend that he is Irish, that's running around Ireland and has done some very, in my opinion, questionable things, like for example telling a homeless man to do 20 push-ups for €20 and filming it. I don't know about you, but that certainly to me seems far worse than anything that Tommy Tiernan has said before. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to our channel. I'll talk to you later.